Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I am broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time for a lucky dip. For me, a lucky dip entails drawing 4 random numbers from random.org and then looking at my spreadsheet that has all my random art supplies on it and pulling those items out based on the numbers, and then making a drawing or a painting, depending on the item, with those art tools. I realized I didn't get it out. What I've been drawing are poses from my many pose reference books. So the one I've been working from is this one, the Pozu Shu Katana Danshi, so pose collection swordsmen. So we are like a fifth of the way through here, just going through each week and doing the next pose on the list. And that's been so nice ever since I decided to do that, because it really helps with deciding what to draw. And then also, I've had all these books forever because they're so lovely, and then I would never use them. So it's really nice to actually use the things that I bought ages ago. So first, let me introduce the items that we got today. The first one is this Crink K70 permanent ink marker. It's black ink, as you can see. And these Crink markers have replaceable nibs, but I have just the default bullet tip that it came with. Hopefully it's still, hopefully it has not dried out, because I haven't used this in a long time, so we'll find out about that. The next item is the Watercolor Aqua Monolith Woodless watercolor pencil, and these are really cool because you can use it on the side and cover a lot of area at once. That's what's really nice about the woodless one. So it's just like wrapped in, I'm not sure what it's wrapped in, but it's like plastic or something. And the color is permanent red light. To me, I'm like, it's orange, but it's like red orange, but it's permanent red light is the official color. And to facilitate the watercolor aspect of this, this watercolor, or this water brush, was already full of water, so I was like, let's just use this. So I'm going to use this. It's a big, broad, square tip, and it's just full of water, and you squeeze right here, and the water comes out. I already have an idea about what I want to do, so I'm trying to hurry a little bit, because anytime I get water media, it usually means there's a bunch of time I have to spend letting it dry, so I want to get that out of the way quick. The next item I got was the Faber-Castell White Pit Pen. It's the 1.5 millimeter bullet nib. So there's that. It's got a little hair on there. Get that little hair off there. Yeah, this will be interesting to see how it works on top of this black ink and on top of the watercolor pencil once it's dry. And then the final item I'm so excited about. I love these things. I have 3 different colors of these. This is the Kuretake Zig Wink of Stella brush pen, and it's let's see, how do I just pull it off? It's a glitter ink. This one is the clear, so it just adds glitter to your piece. So actually this is really nice for doing handmade cards and stuff like that, little gift art and things, because it doesn't work well for pieces that are going to be scanned onto the computer, because the glitter just doesn't show up that well on a scan. But for an actual physical piece, and then you're going to give it to someone, or someone will be looking at it, these are so, I love these glitter pens. So those are all the items I got. Oh, Exie is here. Hello, Exie. How are you? There's that funny emote again. We go arrive. Arrive. Wee. How are you doing? So happy to see you as always. Let's see. I'm going to Let's see, has this paper been bleeding a lot? No, I think it's okay. This is my actual watercolor sketchbook. At the beginning, I was like, I don't like it because the paper pills. Oh, here I had to use acrylic and it stuck to itself. I ended up using it anyway, even though the paper pills. I'm just gonna use it up. It's too hard to decide what other sketchbook to get. I'm too lazy. It takes too long to make this decision fatigue. That's what I got. I got decision fatigue and decided to just stick with the one that's not as good as I would like it to be. Oh, excellent! Yay! Always happy to hear it. How am I? Oh, I'm so tired. I'm good. Emotionally, I'm good. Positive. But I'm so tired. I helped out with... I've been calling him my little puppy brother-in-law. It's my parents-in-law's dog. He needed to go to the vet. But my mom is recovering, so she couldn't help. So I went to help. Because she had to have surgery herself, too. And so I was at the vet for like 2 hours. I'm exhausted. I'm in a good mood, though, because they're going to be able to... So my puppy brother-in-law's name is Spud, and they're going to be able to do surgery to help him out. So it was a positive outcome. But yeah, I'm so tired. To be perfectly honest. Normally I would be swatching these, but since this is a watercolor pencil, I just wanted to get it. I was thinking right from the beginning, I was like, I'll just make the whole paper orange. And then I can be swatching these while this is drying. So that's why I'm going straight to this. I'm actually feeling a little energized now that I'm thinking about it. I use the Headspace app to do meditation every day. Since I was helping out at the vet, I wasn't able to do it in the morning. I did it right before getting ready for this stream. And during the meditations, I was totally falling asleep. That does not usually happen for me, but that's how tired I was. The meditation made me so relaxed that I was just falling asleep. And then I was like, oh man, it's time to get ready. And I got up, and after getting up and moving around and getting my stuff out, getting my stream stuff ready, I started awake. I still have that, you know how when you're tired and it's just like your chest is all heavy? I still have that kind of feeling, but I guess I got a little power nap in while meditating. That's not too long. There's only a few hours until bedtime, so I just gotta hang in there a little longer. I walk my dogs after I wrap up here in the studio. Have dinner and relax with some video games. And bedtime. So not too much longer, body. Hang in there. Telling myself. Okay, so I think this is fairly evenly covered. And like I said, it's so great with these, not just for watercolor pencils, or any of these woodless pencils are great because you can use the side and cover it very quickly and evenly. Right, isn't it? And it's super satisfying too. Like, it's just so, what is the word? Cathartic? I don't know if that's the right word, but physically it is very fun to just fill a whole sheet of paper with a colored pencil. Like, you're not drawing anything in particular. It's just the fun of the movement of drawing it. It's so fun in and of itself. Okay, so I'm trying not to make this too wet because I don't want to take it forever to dry, but I do want it to look even, so do my best to walk the fine line in between those. And then I'll swatch those other items. And on top of filling the background in with orange to start, I figured I could use this again more like a regular colored pencil and fill in some colored areas. And I don't know if I'll add water to it yet or not, but that's something else that's really nice about watercolor pencils. You can use them in multiple ways on the same piece. Alright, gotta squeeze a little water. The brush is getting dry. I don't know if you can hear it, but Chappie is snoring right now. My little dog Chappie. She's curled up into a tiny little ball over here. This is also a satisfying activity. Just so fun to just swipe the brush and watch the pigment spread out. I'm actually really impressed with the paper so far. It's not complaining too much, as in peeling up and falling apart as it's done in the past, but it's probably because I'm doing a relatively light layer and not working it very hard, just working it once and moving on to the next bit. Okay. Doing one last swipe to get it even all the way across, because I sort of did it in 3 stages and I can see that, so hopefully this last swipe and it'll all dry relatively even. But either way, I think that's good. You can hear it. Yeah, her little snores. She's so cute. She's the smallest she can be. She's not that small. She weighs 35 pounds, but she's the smallest dog in the house. Okay, so while this is drying, hopefully swatching these other items will be long enough for it to dry. So this is the first one, the Crink K70 permanent marker with a real big bullet tip on the end. It's a little bit dry, but it could just be because of watercolor paper that happens, or that it just needs to be worked a little bit to get the ink to come. And you can also push down to pump some ink out. Or if you want to make dots, that's something nice about this bullet tip, is you can make some pretty good dot shapes. And this is one of the oldest items I have, this Crink marker. Let's see. Although this, you can tell by the numbers, this one's number 13 on my spreadsheet. So this watercolor pencil is the oldest item I have among this selection. But this is the second oldest, number 149. Where are you going? My pencil's trying to run away. Oh, good idea. Okay. Just had a thought that with this white pen, I've got to have some decent amount of not the basic paper underneath, so I'm going to make a big swatch of black. Give it a chance to dry. Oh, and we can try this sparkly glitter marker on top of it too. And so I guess the next thing is this watercolor pencil, which we already used over here, but let's try a big swatch of color that's put on really heavily. Because over here I didn't put it heavily, I just put it evenly. And we'll put a little water on this and see what happens. But you can also get gradients just like with a regular wax colored pencil. Just press harder and then you lighten it up as you move down, and it makes this nice pretty gradient. Oh, you can't see because of the chat box. There. I didn't provide myself the tools with it today, but something else you can do with watercolor pencils is get a wet brush and just take the color directly off the tip of the pencil and then put the brush on the paper. Yeah, when you put it down really heavily, it makes a nice solid block of color. So now this gradient. And it's quite nice, so I'm taking this down way further than where I used the pencil. And it's quite nice how much of the pencil sort of dissolves. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see what I mean, but you can hardly tell here where the pencil ended, you know, and what was only brought down by the water, because the pencil dissolved so nicely once the water was applied. That doesn't always happen with watercolor pencils. A lot of them, if you put it down, you will still see the pencil, the evidence of the fact that it was a pencil rather than more traditional watercolor. So while these dry, let's try the other things on top of this black ink. So first let's do the white Pitt pen. Oh, it's pretty good coverage. You can see through a bit, but it covered a lot better than I expected. Let's see if it wants to focus. No? No autofocus for me today. There we go. Yeah, did a pretty good job. So that's nice to know. It works really well on the black. Let's do the wink. Oh, did it focused on its own? Okay. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. Let's do the Wink of Stella glitter brush pen. Ah, I love it. I love this clear one, because it basically just leaves the glitter. I'm gonna blow on it a little bit to see if it dries in a way that literally all you see is glitter and you can't see the brush strokes. Which I think it does. I'm gonna show this awesome thing. I love these. Oh, look, it looks so good on the camera even. I didn't think it would show up nice. Look at that. Whee! Oh, Sarah! Hello! Sarah, thank you! 3 months! Yay! Hello! How are you? Yay! I'm so glad I get to talk to you today. Hope you're doing well. Okay, the last thing I wanted to test, as I thought this is still damp, was the watercolor pencil on top of the ink. So I guess I'll show first. Actually has fairly good coverage considering, with the dry application on top of the black ink. Ooh, ooh, oh, there it goes. There it goes. You can't really see it on the camera though. Let's see what happens when I apply a little water to it. I doubt it will get more visible, but let's just see what happens. You can definitely see where the water goes outside the ink. Yes, you can definitely see it. It doesn't seem like... maybe it'll be different once it dries. But it doesn't seem like using the watercolor pencil on top of the black ink is... it's not really going to do anything. You can just see that it's very wet. That's all. I do like the effect of the watercolor coming outside of the ink. That's cool. This is still damp too. Look at, you can see it's like a floppy noodle. I have to get my little hand fan and fan it. I was hoping not to do that. That's why I did the covering the page with orange right away, but let's see if these are, well, at the very least, these I think are dry enough to use my fun glitter pen on top. I love this Wink. So these ones are called Wink of Stella, and I have not looked into it, but the other ones I have are called Wink of Luna, and I'm pretty sure the Stella ones are glitter pens and the Luna ones are metallic ink pens. So they're all shiny, but just slightly different. I love this glitter! Glitter! Me love glitter! It looks so good. It looks so good! It's so shiny! It's like that song in Moana. I'm so shiny! It's the theme song of these pens. You can see glitter shows up perfectly. I mean, it shows up best on the black. Just look at that. It looks like a sequin dress or something. But it shows up even down here on the lightest area. It still reflects the light in a way that stands out. So it'll be really nice for like a postcard with a snowy scene, and you add that to the snow and it really looks like icy snow. Okay, hold on a second. I gotta get a drink of water. I have my water in my smoothie bottle right now. Okay, what else to try? The white pit pen on the watercolor pencil. Oh, really nice coverage here too. I'm impressed. I honestly wasn't expecting much. My bad. This actually works quite well. I mean, it's not perfect 100% back to the page white, but if you want to make lines on top of what you've already done, it's very clearly visible, and even application too, there's no skipping or anything. So this is really nice. That looks so cool with these little sparkles on the bottom half. Yeah. Yeah. That's my favorite thing. I love shiny things. I don't need to do it, but since this is still damp, I'm going to do the ink on top of the watercolor pencil. I could tell that this is substantial enough that it wouldn't have a problem going on the watercolor pencil, but I have some time to kill while this, you can tell it's damp still, even the page below is, because it's like cool to the touch. It's colder than this page. I might get my little dryer thing, the one that Sarah, you gave me like, I don't know how many years ago. I might get that out. I'll have to mute my mic here because it's loud, but it would dry it a lot faster. Here's the ink. Oh, this got like a Halloween theme going on here. Yeah. It's a sparkly pumpkin costume. That's what this is. Yeah, the heat gun. That's it. Yeah, I use it for drying watercolors a lot, actually, when I'm working on a really big watercolor piece. I think I'll actually do that because this is so damp that I feel like I'll be here for like 10 minutes fanning it by hand. So I'm going to dig that out in my closet over here. I say dig out, but it has a special drawer and everything. It's right here. This MOFA heat tool. Yeah, I really recommend it for drawing watercolor paintings. So where am I going to plug this in? Plug it over here. Excuse me, Choppy. I have to unplug one of my desk lights. There. Well, it's the most excellent gift. I am very happy to have it. It works super well. So this comes, if I can do it, this comes down so that you can set it. Because the tip, it even says nozzle may be hot, so it's not good to just set the tip down. So it's nice that it has this little stand here, and you can stand it here. If you're going to use it for a bunch of stuff and stand it, let it cool off or whatever. Also, I like to let it cool off before I put it away as well, just for safety purposes. It just has an on-off switch. Okay, so I'm going to mute my mic because this is pretty loud, and I think it would be better to have silence than to have this high-pitched sound. So here I go. Okay, I'm back. It's actually not as loud as I remembered, but I think it's too loud for the microphone. And now I'm going to unplug it. For safety, I always like to unplug these things as soon as I'm done. Especially with high heat things, you know, you just don't want to. It's not worth risking it. I've got to just set it on the floor to cool off before I put it away. Oh yeah, that's the best. I need to remember that in the future. For some reason it came to mind today. I've never remembered it before. It's just been sitting over here the whole time. So nice. Yep, all nice and dry. Yay. As you can see, I went nice and even over the whole page. I think it's better to do a slow, even heat application than I did the back, because this paper is so thin that it's helpful to do the back as well. Rather than trying to get one spot dry and let everything else stay really wet, because the way the paper dries, if you can dry it evenly, it's more likely to be able to go back flat, or be more willing to go back flat, because if you dry it, the fibers get dried in a certain shape, and if it's more evenly dried out, then the shape will be more even, if that makes any sense. It doesn't really matter that much, but that's why I like to do it that way. So let's actually, perfect timing. We've got about half an hour to draw our pose of the day. So this is the one we did last time. Well, pose of the week. Yeah, pose of the week. Did I do this one last time? I think I did this one last time. Like this? Yeah, I remember. I remember these placements. Okay, because I do it upside down so that you guys can see. It was Exy's awesome idea to do it upside down. But we're going to the next page today. Oh, we're doing a tiny one. Oh, I love this pose. Right on the tips of his toes right here. Ready to swing up. Meet this stroke here. Let's see. So first thing I got to do, you can, because it's so small, I'll show it to you up close first. This is the pose I'm going to work from. But I've got to get the book all set up, put my clips on it, and then since this is the front half of the book, it likes to pop up like this, so I use a little can of house paint to hold it down too. So I gotta stand up and get that. Okay, this has to come up actually. There we go. Here's my nice can of house paint. And then set it right. Oh, this isn't the heavy one. The heavy one on the bottom, I see. I also use these cans of house paint as stands when I need to put away my mic and stuff. They're the perfect size. The base of my mic and the base of my camera are both round and the same size of this, so I use them to put those away. That's much better. This one's more full. Okay. I've got to rearrange my desk a little bit. Actually, I'll put that over here. And push it down with the can of paint. And okay, this goes over here. These, I'm just trying to make sure that the important bits are visible. Yeah, I think that's good. Boom! Oh, wait, where are you going? This pencil loves to run away. It keeps trying to run away. There. Ooh, it's kind of hard though because I don't really have a sketching pencil. I guess I could sharpen this and use this as my sketching pencil. So now I need a sharpener. I'll use my cool, what brand is this? Oh, it's Coom again. It's the same brand as my other favorite one I use for Inktober. This one's cool because it has 4 different sizes. So it's Well, it's not guaranteed, but it's quite likely that there will be the appropriate size for your pencil in this set, because these woodless pencils are thinner than traditional wood pencils. So it's nice that it has a smaller size on here. If you're hearing a bunch of sniffing and snorting, my big dog Aoife was getting herself more comfy. Just a little bit more, I think. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. And then, of course, I like that it has a quite big storage bin for your eraser shavings, and then it has these closey lids that snap right here on both sides to keep that stuff in there. Especially for people like me who really don't like to have a messy space. So these figures are quite small. I can't really see the details very much, so I think I'll actually try to include both figures. I know you can only see one now that I've set it up like that, but maybe I can scoot it a little bit. There. Now at least you can tell there's another figure. I think I'll try to fit them both on here and use the black to make dark silhouettes. So I'm just going to be sketching the general shape of these and use the black ink to make them both silhouettes. And then we can use the sparkles in fun ways. I'm not sure exactly how I'll use the sparkles yet. So this person, because they're crouching down about to swing up, they're much lower to the ground. So physically I imagine they're about the same height, but they look much shorter with this crouching pose. And what's cool about doing a silhouette is it doesn't matter too much about the details, just the overall shape. And the sword coming back. Oh, I remembered. I was just thinking about parts of the sword. I think I mentioned it last week, or was it the week before? No, I think it was last week. I got this book when I was in Portland. It's part of my reward shopping trip for taking my JLPT test. This has what I wanted before. See, it tells you, okay, katana, longsword, tsuba, hand guards, tsuka, hilt, menuki, ornaments, etc. So now, whenever I'm like, what the heck, I don't know what the parts are called. Haha! I have this book. So I don't have to get distracted by it. I can just look at that book. So tsuba, tsuka. I don't know what the blade part is called. Katana? Maybe that's just what the katana is called. Because I haven't actually read the book yet. I was just like, look, it has the terms I wanted. It was also cool. It was on sale. There were a bunch of them. And it's like brand new. It's in really good condition and everything. I was so excited when I saw it. It's like, yes. Instantly into my pile of books that I was buying. Yep. Label all the parts. Yes. This is what I wanted. Because I have a different samurai book. And it's like about samurai costumes. And just like period costumes. Not just samurai, but all kinds of different Japanese period costumes. And it didn't have the names of the parts of the sword. I was like, what? Because it wasn't focused on the individual structure of each item. Rather, what is the costume called when it comes together as a whole, basically. So it's like, okay, I understand why this book didn't have what I wanted, but now I need a book that has what I wanted. And I got it. Just like a week later, I got it. Okay, so I think I'm happy with the silhouette here for this person. So now I'm going to add this person. And they're like a whole body width apart at least. And the second person is standing straight up. The hakama are barely wrinkled at all. Not much movement in the leg, at least this way. Maybe there's some movement this way of the legs here, but not very much. So we've got a very dynamic pose and a much more static pose combined. And the shoulder comes back, so there's kind of an angle here. And this arm, this is where the dynamism is on this pose. The arm is raised. So there's extreme wrinkles from elbow down to waist. And then the sleeve. There we go. And the head. Hands. And then the sword. Can't really see the tsuba or tsuka or anything else because it's covered by the head, but you can see the blade. And yeah, that's about it for this silhouette. So let's fill them in with the black marker. Black Crink K70 permanent ink marker. And I'm going to work from this way over because I'm left hand, so I don't want to smear the ink if I were to work in the opposite direction. This is a really, really big tip though, so... Oh, Aoife's getting up again. Aoife, are you going to want out and then back in again less than 5 minutes later, just like yesterday? I guess it's okay if there's not too much detail here because doing the silhouette, not too much detail anyway. The tip of the sword is the only thing I was concerned about, and it seemed to come out all right. Something else I'm liking about this marker on, at least on this paper, is it doesn't show too much what direction I'm moving the marker in once it dries. It dries pretty flat and even. I'm still trying to move them all in the same direction overall, just in case, so it looks evenly worked. Sometimes it's easier, especially when you get close to outlines, it's easier to move it along the shape of the outline instead of crosswise. Whoop, whoop. This big triangular shape for the hakama here. Okay, make this easier, I gotta turn it like this. The marker is a little bit dry, so I'm having to, not terribly dry, just a little bit. And it might be because of the watercolor paper. Watercolor paper is specifically designed to be thirsty, but it's just taking me a little longer than it might otherwise to fill this in. Swoosh. What, the moving the paper around or the sound of the marker? Maybe it's both. Ah, went out of the line a little bit. That's okay. I'm also rotating the marker a little bit every so often so that maybe it helps because the nib is absorbing ink from the cartridge all the way around, so by rotating it a little bit I hope to get a more juicy part of the nib. And then the other part that I was using can recharge in the meantime. Hey, not bad. I missed a spot right here. And now for this person. Okay, this goes down like this because it's more dynamic. I have to keep looking over here to make sure what I was trying to do with my sketch. It's because I'm sketching orange on top of orange, so it's kind of hard to see. This lovely, elegant pose here. This leg is just awesome. I love it. It's just poised, ready. And then the other leg. And drawing in silhouette is nice because it really helps you focus on the overall shapes and not get distracted by maybe what your mind thinks such and such thing is supposed to look like, which can sort of sabotage your own efforts. I've had it happen to me many times where it's like, oh, I know what this is. It should look like this. And then I finish drawing. I'm like, what? Why is it like this? And I compare it to the reference and I'm like, oh, why did I do that? It's because the mind sometimes thinks it knows more than it does. Okay, I'm trying to do the silhouette first and then fill in for the most part. There's just a little tiny triangle of negative space or background between the two hands here. So just try to get that. See if I can maintain it. I think I did. This is the thumb, and here's the fingers. Other fingers sticking out here. Okay. Oh, and then the blade. And Zuba. Boom. Okay, once again, turning it over. I'll start from the top. And just slowly work my way down. About 15 minutes left, so we're making really good time. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's much easier for me to work in silhouette. I'm so glad. I did not realize until I did the swatching that I basically got Halloween colors, so this orange and black looks really nice together. Scrapey, scrapey, scrapey. Man, I'm so glad I remembered about that heat tool. All this time. So many streams this year. I'm sitting there fanning it. I could have gotten the heat tool out. Never thought of it before. Okay. So that ink is still drying a bit. I think what I'd like to do, since I do have so much time, is see these shadows here cast on the ground from these two models. I'll use the Watercolor pencil to add those shadows. And I won't add water to this, I'm just going to do it dry. And I think it'll look really nice since it's got the whole orange already applied to, well, what is this? Permanent red light. Nah, it's orange. To me, this is orange. It's got the whole orange background already established, so it's really easy to make the nice, gentle transitions, as you can see, from light to dark. To do it on, I can even just do an example here. It's always going to be a more stark contrast, no matter how light your hand is, versus doing it on a colored, especially the same color, on a colored piece of paper or whatever you're working on. And then this person. It's actually quite diffuse shadows in this reference image. So I'm actually I'm taking them a little darker than what they actually are. But I like it because it's it's grounding these silhouettes so that they don't just look like cutouts. It places them in this strange orange space. Another tip for using these woodless pencils, and well, any pencil, as long as it's sharpened with a long enough tip, is if you want to do it lighter, use it more on its side like this, and darker, use more of the tip, and you'll get a darker line easier, or you'll have an easier time if you use it on the side of keeping it light. It's actually quite nice that the watercolor pencil does not really show up on the black ink, because I'm not having to be so careful around the black ink part. Just color right on top of it. And there's a little bit of shadow going off this way too. Okay. That's pretty good. So, I think that all the ink is dry. So let's put some sparkles on. Sparkles! It's glitter. Glitter sparkles. Of course, let's put it on the sword blades. It makes total sense that they would go on the sword blades. Shiny, sparkling swords. Magical. I am putting it only on the blade side though, and then that way it helps give further that impression of it being the katana style sword, because there's usually like a groove or something that makes the blunt side look a little different. So I'm thinking, I often take things too far in these images, and maybe it would be nice if I don't put the glitter on everything and just keep it in very specific spots. So like on the tsuba here, I think it's a nice spot for some glitter. Maybe I'll do like, I don't know, like little swirling, you know, like in a Western, stereotypical Western movie, and it, like a cowboy movie or whatever, and then there's like, whoo, and the wind comes by and there's a tumbleweed or something. So let's do little winds going, whoo, well there's, you know, they're facing off right here. So I want to use the glitter on the orange background too. And I'll do some lines that look like they're behind them, and some lines that look like they're in front of the figures as well. So magical. It's so magical. I'll try to do some smaller and some larger. like adding to existing lines. It's like little emphasis. Did a little swirls of magic coming off of their swords. Man, I love this. I don't know how well it's showing up. I think I gotta do a little close-up look. Hopefully that's... it doesn't like the orange. The orange is too warm for it, and it's making it all purple. It's struggling because of the orange color. But at least I think you can see the shiny, swirling wind and the magic shining swords. Can't really tell that well. I drew little swirls of magic on on the swords. So. Yay! Thank you. Wow, we still have so much time. Well, how about I emphasize these swirls with some orange colored pencil lines as well. Yep. Oh yeah, I think that's quite nice actually. I don't want them to get too even. So draw some closer together as well. Still have 6 minutes. What else shall I do to this? Oh, I made those. Oh, wait. What am I thinking? I've got one more item to use. Yay. Ha ha ha. Forgot about my white pen. I was like, why am I done with this so soon? No, I'm not done. Let's add some highlights to these silhouettes, I think. So, I don't know if I want to do, like, just draw things in it, but maybe just like a little indicative, like the highlights on the hair. Yeah. Maybe, so his, whoa, paint can fell down. Well, it didn't fall down, it slipped off the book off the other direction. This person's scabbard is sticking straight out of their hakama right here. So draw that. Yeah, this pen works awesome on top of the black. And then here, in between the hands, you can see some of the crisscrossing, like the grip that's tied around. There's the see-through parts between those X's of, I guess it's fabric. So put little dots there for that. Maybe we can put a little bit of white to be a highlight on the blade. In with the glitters, yes. And maybe some indication of where edges of clothing are versus exposed skin. I'm so glad I remembered this. I was like, what? This doesn't seem right. Why does it go by so fast? Because I did not finish it yet. Yeah, I'm liking this. Not drawing like facial features or any details like that. Just little things that give the silhouettes a little bit more definition or understanding of it. Like, okay, like we can tell this is a body, but what exactly is it doing? This helps a little bit. I'm just looking back and forth between this and this. See, like, what might it still need a little bit more? Those little details, yep. This is the fun part. You do all of the hard work, and then you get to do the fun part. With the details. This person's obi right here, which is the kimono belt, is all white or cream, so I'm actually going to fill it in with the white. Yeah, and I'm really liking just leaving the faces completely blank. I think if I were to like put little dots for eyes instead of being like an interesting sort of shapes, it would start looking like a cartoon, like a weird cartoon instead. Yay! I think that's good. We've got less than a minute, so let's call it there. I can't believe I was about to forget it. I was like looking over here for inspiration. I was like, what else can I do? And I was like, look at this. Actually, though, I was going to call it good. Let's just do, I just want to add a little white on top of the orange. You can't really see it because this orange is so light. I just really wanted to... There. Okay, now I'm done. Oh, it reminds me of those old, really old ancient Greek potteries. I cannot remember what they're called at all, but they have these like black silhouettes on them. Oh, you're welcome. Yay. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday. Yay. So here it is. The color is totally off because the camera is super confused by the orange. It's trying to compensate for the warm lighting. But at least you can see the sparkly Wink of Stella pen on top of here. And you can sort of see how the white works on top of this really light application in the background. Yeah, these items worked really, really well together. I'm quite happy with it. Okay, we're over time, so I'll let you go. I will be back on Friday for Chibi Friday. We're hopefully going to finish up the Chibi Moon Night. I'm super excited for that. So, hopefully see you then. Either way, hope that you have a great rest of your day. Great Thursday. Thank you for watching.